I gave an indication of portion size for something that seems, oh, I'm not there as well, something that seems appropriate to me. For example, grapes, 20, mango, half a mango, a quarter of a pineapple. Kindness seems okay to me. However, everything depends on if you view this as, if you take, if you think 8 strawberries is like nothing to you, or is like a million, yeah, that changes everything. Another important thing here is that so here I put on the second column, I put the grams, because like I can say one nectarine is 150 grams, and that means that one portion gives you 66 calories in the fourth column. However, if your nectarine is 100, then obviously it's only going to be 2/3, and this number totally changes. So everything here, these colors going from low calorie to high calorie, really depend on portion size and what you find as a normal portion and how many portions you eat of it. So some general marks. Oh yeah, this is also the per 100. So if you want to straight up compare it, but I find it personally not that valuable, because people don't eat 100 grams of things. People eat portions of things. So some general marks. First off, and this is the same for vegetables, never drop fruits or vegetables to compensate for still being able to eat that. Now it becomes different if you're already eating 5 pieces of fruit and then you really want to have that Twix, then I'm like, okay, but it should never be a trade-off. You should always try to get in the fruits, and not, they do have sugars. Yes, indeed, that is true, but that shouldn't be a reason not to have them. Again,
so
here, portion size and
so in other words, it's always better to take banana than
I would still,
Twix.
Yeah, absolutely, because of vitamins, minerals, all those. I would definitely, fibers, I would definitely recommend having more fruits. If you're at piece number 5 or something, you can, even then it's still better, but then I understand more because you're already going to be full with vitamins and minerals anyway. But
and then protein bar.
Oh yeah, we're talking about something else. Then we're more
No,
going.
no. I first asked for a normal, like just something quick, or yeah, you said Twix, but if it's a protein bar,
then we're getting into a question of, do you need like vitamins, minerals, and carbs in general, or is your protein need that heavy? If you're, let's say you need 100 grams of protein, you're at 85, I'd be, if you're at 40, that extra 20 can definitely make a big difference. So then it becomes a question of how far off are you really?
okay.
Yeah, but that is a good question indeed. A general remark is that the berries and the stone fruits are generally pretty good. As you can see here, passion fruits are a really good one. That is a small portion. That is one passion fruit. Yeah, if you've had one, that's not that much. Lemon, you're never gonna eat a full lemon as well, but okay. A clementine is just, it's not that big. These generally do pretty well. The ones that do worse are avocado is one, because avocados tend to have very high fats. I'm not saying they're unhealthy, however, they just have a lot of fats, and which makes them a high calorie food to have. And then the dried ones, because they have a lot of added sugars, also definitely something to watch. So then, as example, I have dates and raisins. Oh yeah, if it doesn't say a number, I didn't count raisins, but I just put 100 grams here because you're probably not going to count your raisins anyway. So yeah. In general, all fruits have a lot of sugar. That is just a fact, which is one of the reasons why in many cases vegetables are recommended over fruit, because they'll have less sugars, less calories in general. Fiber is going to be quite similar. Vitamins, minerals, quite similar. It just depends, because every one of them has different values. So that's just hard to judge. But it's easier to go over on your fruits, on your sugar. Sorry. Another important thing is that vegetables, and we're going into that now. Vegetables tend to have a little bit more of protein. Now, I'm not saying vegetables for the most part are a good protein source, but if they'll have, for example, 40 calories, it might be that 30 of those are carbs and 10 of those are protein. So the ratio becomes closer to what a normal ratio of your food intake should be. Yeah, but yeah, now we're going to the vegetables. Again, same system. For the people who just came on, this indicates, obviously, first column is what it is and has an indication of how many that is, if possible. If not, this is how many grams it is. So this correlates to that. If it's 1 carrot, should be about 60 grams. If your carrot's not 60 grams, it's 40, then obviously this number changes because this is a number calories per portion. Maybe I should add per portion. Per portion. Yeah. And I'll do the same here. This is really where it all comes down to, because I'm assuming you eat portions and you don't measure everything so it's exactly 100 grams. You eat something because it's because it's a normal portion. What else can I say about? So this is the column that says 100 grams, and this is how many that comes out to as a portion. Some general marks here. A lot of them that have high water in, numbers, they tend to be the lower ones. So cucumber, salads, celery sticks, those tend to be the ones that have low calories, just because they obviously the water weight makes it better. Oh yeah, just like I said with the fruits, never drop a vegetable, so you can compensate with that twig. Now that's less in this case because vegetables already have, in general, less calories and therefore are not going to be that hurtful. Beans are in general the ones that have most calories. There's a lot of them here, like chilies, black beans, kidney beans, lentils I also put here. They tend to be, this might be actually too much of a portion. Maybe I should have this. But so yeah, you see how many calories they have. They do have higher protein as well. That is where a part of the protein of the calories come from. So that helps, especially for people who, I see Astrid pointing, maybe she's eating something like vegetarian or beans. She's
I was eating a bean.
Bean, all right.
So I wanted to show the bean.
Sorry. But they are definitely healthy. They're totally fine. But there needs to be more of a management of portions here. I think I'm going to change this lentil thing after, so it's a more appropriate portion, because this makes it seem worse than it is. But still, if you look at this number, these numbers are still very high compared to these, obviously. The per 100 measures are still very, very high. Part of the reason is also that they're less watery. So, oh yeah, another important thing is that all of this is uncooked, right? If you have sprouts, for example, and you're gonna cook them, okay, I measured everything. Everything is in here that is uncooked. Are there any questions on that so far? Astrid has a question.
So what difference does the cooking process make? Like, does it increase in calories generally, or how should we interpret that?
No, in calories it stays the same, but obviously in weight it goes up.
Okay, yeah.
But it's just important to know, especially with the next thing we're going to go through is carb sources. Like the difference between cooked and uncooked rice and pasta can be like twofold very easily. And then you think you're eating a nice portion, but actually you're eating a lot or very little. And that can easily be 200-300 calories. So, yeah. Okay, we'll go over the carb sources then. This is the list. I just put the biggest carb sources in here that are eaten. There's potatoes in here. There's granola. There's breakfast foods as well, like Choco Pops is in here. What else do we have? Muesli is in here, and then bread as well. So some general remarks here. This thing I discovered because of Cindy, who did a client here. Cognac rice. I haven't had it yet, but apparently it's like the new super carb source. Well, not carb source because there's nothing in there. Just wanted to highlight that one. Sweet potatoes are technically a vegetable as far as I know, but I still put them in here because a lot of people look at them as a normal carb source, and yeah, like one of those. Rice wafer. Again, I put portion size. Here it's often on the grams because pistolets I put 2 as a portion. Yeah, some general trends. Again, watch the portion size, the weight, everything is uncooked. I was supposed to write more here, but what was it? Oh yeah, some simple things like sweet potatoes, normal are less than sweet potato fries. Why? Because it's treated with some fats usually and some preservatives and like those things. Unless you cook them yourself, of course, but if you get them from like a bag, usually they tend to have more. Another trend, let's see here, potatoes is the lowest. Then you go to mashed potatoes. Then you go oven fries, kind of the same almost, because this is the number you need to watch. And then again, because of fats, and then we have like aardappelnoot, just depends on which brand you take as well. Like the more processed it is, the higher it tends to be in calories. Pasta is a big one. Here I want to highlight as well bread. Bread, I put 3 slices here as 100 grams and 4 white slices as 100 grams. In calories, they are negligible, not that many, not that much difference. The big reason why volkorenbrood is heavier, like how do you say, whole wheat bread, it's heavier because it has all the fibers. I would recommend it because you're per 100 grams, you're going to be about at the same, but you're going to be full faster, and it's just healthier for you in general. With white bread, you have less good stuff in you. What else can I say? If you put choco pops, for example, I put 80 grams. Well, with muesli, I put 60 grams, and with oats, I put 40 grams. That might seem unfair, but so if you calculate them per 100 grams, you're going to be about the same, because you see here oats 380, choco pops 388, muesli, okay, 450, a little higher because there tend to be fats and nuts in there. But they're not super different, but it's just in general, people can eat more choco pops than they eat oats. It just has less fibers. Fiber, I almost put a separate category for fibers in here, because fibers is really what in all 3 of these, fruits, vegetables, and well, fruits and vegetables all have a lot of fiber, but with carb sources, just because of the fiber count and the fiber difference, it really makes you eat more of them and not. If you eat white pasta, for example, it's you tend to eat more of that because it has lower fibers. If you eat whole grains, and maybe could have put that one in there as well, but whole grains tend to fill you faster, again, more weight comparable to the bread. Yeah. I think that's yes, everything is uncooked. Everything is uncooked, this for all of it. I just thought it would be an easier way to measure it. I could put them cooked, but then you're comparing, how do you say it, apples to oranges, really. Astrid is there again with another prop. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna add that.
Yeah, I was wondering about this. Like, this is high protein pasta, so with peas as protein in this one. Like, would you recommend this one over whole wheat pasta, or what would you prefer?
Yeah, I would actually recommend that over, because if most people would need that extra protein.
True.
But again, it depends. If you're having enough protein, you don't need it probably. I just had regular pasta, but I had a protein bar earlier after my workout. I don't usually struggle with having enough protein. But if I would probably go for that one. Yeah. But I'm gonna add that one. Is there any other things that you guys are like, oh, I would have liked to have seen that? I'm adding these two.
Yeah, I mean, there are also the pastas, maybe it's the same like Astrid showed, from chickpeas or
Mhm.
red lentils or something like that, which I buy it because I like it, because it fills me much quicker. Probably there is much more starch in it. I don't know, but it seems that if I just cook a handful of those kind of pastas, I can feel much fuller than with volkoren pasta. But I don't know when it comes to calories, because if it's from lentils, then you said that lentils have quite a lot of calories. So now I'm actually doubting if
Yeah,
chickpeas pasta or lentil pasta is actually, yeah, better than
I
volkoren
do think
pasta.
lentil, it does have more calories because of the higher protein, and some fat probably there as well. I would need to check that. Is I made it seem worse than it is because this portion is too big. I need to look into this. This is not a normal portion. Um, but there are definitely higher in calories compared to other like the other vegetables. Yeah, that is definitely true. Um, yeah. What else was I gonna say? But I will add these. I put them here. The pasta variants. That is going to be something for either later today or tomorrow to check that out. And I will just add it to. So this list, obviously, you guys are gonna get this. I'm thinking about just making a drive file with all the things that we've discussed in the past and all the lists I've made, because this it's becoming quite a lot. I want to just have you guys have that in an open resource, and then you can always check it easily, like the recipe mixer as well. It's going to be easier for you guys to, and I'll pin a drive folder or something on top of the Facebook group, and then you just have easy access that way, or you save the link or something. That's probably going to be simplest. Any other questions, remarks on this? Things you'd like to see added? You can text me later as well if you want. Oh, I see. Liz posted a few things. I not posted the volkoren pasta. Liz posted column D. Column D is so Liz column D is basically, so we have how many grams you have, and then how many per. This is oh, I didn't have the formula. So this has the formula. So this is just how many calories are in one portion. Oh, yeah. I added it in the other ones. There you go.
Yeah,
so
here you put the column B is the grams per portion that you propose. So the column D is based on column B.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it of course takes into account column C. You just multiply it. You multiply these and divide them by 100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can, there's two ways of comparing. I prefer to compare in proportion because, again, humans eat portions and not 100 grams of things. But I could be off on the portion. If your normal portion of oats is 30 grams or is it 60 grams? Yeah, my whole calculation thing changes, right? If you it could even be that's not linear. Like it could be that for you a normal portion of oats is 60 grams, and with potatoes you only eat 100 grams. Yeah, then my formula totally changes. So it always has to be looked at for you. It's pretty good if you could like sometimes measure what for you a normal portion is, and then this table totally changes for you. But obviously I can't make a separate table for everyone. Just a starting point to give you some.
If you write pizza, do you mean dat weet ik niet in het Engels, hè? The pizza bodem? Or do you mean
the whole thing?
Whatever pizza toppings you use?
No, I added a standard pizza.
Yeah.
A normal standard pizza. It's only half a pizza, and that's already 400 calories. But that includes cheese and maybe some salami. was a pretty standard pizza. Yeah.
Oh, it's pizza all
I
day.
could add a pizza bottom if you want. Actually, and I'll add like the red beets bottoms I see in some of your meal plans. Not you, but other people. That's beets. Bottom, and then the what was it again? The cauliflower.
Cauliflower rice.
What else we wraps? That's also a good one. Yes, you guys are giving me great ideas.
And tacos.
Tacos.
I was also wondering about the difference between granola and muesli, because it always
Granola-
seems in the shop as if granola is super healthy, but it's not really, is it?
Granola has, in general, a few more, like a little more nuts or seeds. And muesli, a little less. It's kind of similar. If you count it per 100 grams, it's about the same.
Okay.
There's also a lot of variants in granola, like what they put in it. There's yeah. You guys are filling the comments here. Let's see if I didn't miss anything. Liz, you asked linzen, witte bonen, kikkererwten. Let's see. Linzen are in here. Witte bonen, I didn't add. I will put here. Witte bonen. Kikkererwten zitten er wel bij. Ja. En dan kan je die tabbladen bijzetten naast je Excel met recepten.
Kikkererwten, is dat kidney bean?
Kidney bean. Dat
Ah, ja, kidney bean, dat zijn van die rode dingen, hè?
Ja.
Kikkererwten zijn chickpeas.
Juist.
Ja. Ja, Lies, ik ga die file, ik ga een andere file, ik ga er een drive van maken. Ik weet niet of ik het al gezegd heb, maar dat je er allemaal gemakkelijk in andere files.
Ja, top.
En dan dus Weetabix, sandwichen, ja, dat staat er. Heb ik hierop gezet. Ja.
Stokbrood.
Okay. Stokbrood.
Koffiekoeken.
Wat zeg je?
Koffiekoeken.
Koffiekoeken, ja, kan erbij
Om te
zitten.
weten hoe slecht het is.
Koffiekoeken. Stokbrood zal waarschijnlijk in de categorie pistolets vallen. Maar koffiekoeken wil ik er wel bij zetten. Ja, toast kan ik erbij zetten, maar dat is eigenlijk gewoon hetzelfde als een boterham. Want ja, er is niks meer veranderd. Hetzelfde als gekookt of ongekookt. Jullie hadden allemaal zo'n chocoladebroodje, appelflap. Oké, goed, ik zal het heel specifiek maken. Chocoladebroodje. Een donut, dat is nog een goeie. Ja, die stond er nog niet op. Zijn er anders nog bepaalde jullie aan het denken? Die lijst hiernaast is bijna groter geworden dan de lijst zelf. Nee, het zijn wel goede suggesties allemaal. Dus ik kan die er zeker bij zijn. Moest er nog iets zijn, je mag het me altijd achteraf laten weten dat je achter plots op komt of zo. En ik zet het er ook wel bij.
Het is een beetje een andere call qua onderwerp, maar heb je zo qua granola en muesli en zo merken die dat je aanraadt?
Binnen de categorie zelf. Moeilijk zijn ik er gedacht om dat te doen. Dat is eigenlijk een onbegonnen werk. Omdat ik naar verschillende winkels zou moeten gaan en alles naast elkaar leggen. Eigenlijk ben ik niet. Wat ik zou doen, is kijken naar wat er hier staat per 100. En als dat echt er fel boven is, weet je, waarschijnlijk geen goeie. Als er fel onder is, waarschijnlijk te licht. Maar dat is ongeveer wat je op kunt mikken dan.
Dat is op zich wel een goede leidraad. Dat is goed.
Maar rijst, hier 3,55, dat zal ongeveer zijn wat je moet hebben. Als je er iets minder, ze naast elkaar leggen in de winkel ook, kun je het ook gewoon doen. Maar dat is ongeveer het getal dat je zoekt. En ik zou altijd kijken per 100.
Ja.
Moet je zelf gemaakt. Want soms, en dat is ook nog vervelend, porties, opnieuw, ze verschillen heel erg van persoon tot persoon. Maar als er in één pak staat, een portie is 60 gram, en op een andere pak staat er een portie is 80 gram, zijn je geen fair vergelijking aan het doen, en ga je misschien per ongeluk de verkeerde pak. Ik denk dat ze wettelijk verplicht zijn om per 100 gram er ook op te zetten. Of dat staat er toch quasi altijd op. Het kan bijna niet anders dat dat verplicht is, denk ik. Vergelijkt altijd per 100 gram. Dat is het gemakkelijkst. En je moet dan uiteraard niet altijd 100 gram eten, maar je gaat dan toch, het is de makkelijkste manier om te vergelijken.
Italiaan. Ik kijk
Ja.
meestal naar die Nutri-score. En als het een aardje is, dan denk ik, het zal wel goed zijn. Ah, ja. If it's an A, nothing. It's it's all right. Is that a good thing to think? Or would you always check the label?
The Nutri-Score kind of looks at food more as in isolation. It's not. It doesn't always really give you a correct view. It has some very, very basic guidelines, like high in calorie is bad, high in sugars is bad, high in fats is bad, doesn't matter which ones they are. But that doesn't always, yeah. It will, for example, I think if there would be a label on like Coke Zero, it would be A because it has 0 calories, right? It's the simple, or and then avocado, it would probably give, or yeah, cheese is maybe not the best thing, but like the higher calorie things that are still relatively healthy, it would give like a D or an E. I've seen things that I'm like, what? Go for an A or a B. Because of various reasons. I can't really come up with a good example now, but it's not always the full story. I wouldn't always look at this.
Olive oil is an E.
Olive oil, yes, that's a really good example actually. Olive oil is obviously all fats, and that makes it very high calories. Is olive oil unhealthy? No, of course not. Should you drink it by the liter? No, obviously not. But you know, it's one of those, it doesn't take into consideration that you should only be using 5, 10, maybe 15 grams a day, and that you're not going to drink 100 milliliters a day. Yeah. Are there any other questions on this one? No. You can always ask if to add stuff later on. That is always fine as well. Okay, I will stop sharing my screen if I find a way. Oh, here. All right.